This evening I have with me Scrowner, who you may know from the Discords and just around the Vault Tour scene. Why don't you say hi to everyone, Scrowner?
Hi to everyone.
There we go. Perfect. Dan's going to love that one. The dad jokes are always winning, it seems, in the world of KeyForge.
I am not a father.
But it doesn't mean you can't have a dad joke. I do them too, and I'm not a father either. But why don't you start off by just telling everyone the deck you are jamming with us tonight?
Well, I'm jamming with a deck that I opened when Coda first came out, and this is during a pre-release for Coda. And this was the deck I actually played in the tournament for the pre-release. It's kind of fun. It's slow, nothing particularly cool about it, but it's good for removing things from the board. It has a few, good Sanctum cards in to keep things going.
Can you please not try and get the audience too excited with the way you're selling this deck to them? It's a little overbearing, I must say.
I know it's nothing great because I was told by the host of this silly show that I couldn't bring anything good.
It's still a 70s sass. Come on.
That's a little better than that. It's in the 70s. Let's put it there.
Yes. So that means it's nothing to laugh at. Let's just say that.
It's just a slow grind deck.
Sometimes you need to play those games, though.
Yeah. It's good against people like Blake.
You're too kind. You're too kind, Scott. So today I'm bringing something I actually opened the other day in the Advent calendar side of things, and it was pretty interesting. It was my first time getting a Lord Invidious, which I thought was pretty cool, and it has the Poltergeist, so a little bit of artifact control, has a Harbinger of Doom. So it's a kind of like a toolkit in a way, but in not your normal way. And then it also has some fun logo stuff to steal, to dig, to get more card draw. And then it has the archiving abilities with Dr. Millie, which is pretty cool. And then under Star Alliance, the things that I really like about it is has the Tabor, and then it also has Chief Engineer Walls, which I figure could be fun with the Collar of Subordination potentially, and Transporter Platform, which is always fun. So it's just got some cool things and a lot of ways to deal with artifacts, which may not be as relevant against you, Scott, but I feel in the game now, artifacts are a lot more present than they have been in the past.
So, sorry, forgive my ignorance, but Lord Invidious, is that one of those silly cards that you have to have it dead center before it does anything?
You got it. It is. Okay. It's a reapability of...
You were excited to get that card?
Yeah, I was. I actually want to have one of all the leaders. That's why. I opened my first Val Jericho deck the other day, and it is the weirdest deck I've ever seen. It has
like Val Jericho.
Yeah, but this deck, Scott, has a 0 creature control stat.
Oh.
But a 22 under speed.
Oh.
So yeah, it's a really weird deck, but it's fun. It's fun to play, but it will never ever make a Vault Tour, let's just say. But it is quite fun to pilot.
I don't know, speed is determining a lot of good decks. I mean, you could have low amber control and high speed and just make up for it in the draw.
It's true, but when you can't deal with the board as much. It's I think I need to jam more games with it to really unlock it, because it's something like I need to be on board to deal with a board. There's no out of hand stuff.
What's its overall SAS?
It's a 71, I believe.
No, so it's respectable.
Yeah, it's respectable. It's got good numbers other than the 0C, and the things it can do is really cool. So, all right, so let's get the game going, and then we'll get some questions coming your way. Okay, so interesting.
So, for your beginner watchers out there, I mulligan based on late game cards.
Okay.
If I see 2 or more late game cards, that's when I press the old mulligan button.
That's a new mulligan. I've thought the same thing, but I also have the thought sometimes of how many late game cards exist, because if you only get 2 and you have like 7, then maybe you're in a good position type of thing.
Sure. Well, unfortunately, I had 2 and I got back 2. So.
Yeah, I noticed that happens a lot on TCO.
This means I got to go first, huh?
It does.
All right. There you go.
All right. So tell the listeners about yourself. Your like mainly your gaming background. Like how did you become a lover of card games?
So in the early 90s, talking like 91, 92, I opened up a comic book store that had Magic, not Magic, the card game, but actual sleight of hand magic stuff. And it had some baseball cards and whatnot. And in the 2 years I was open and then sold the business, we received Magic the Gathering Alpha in our store. And we had a full display case. So we had 6 boxes of Alpha. No one bought it. No one wanted it. And we opened up a few packs. And I actually remember opening the first pack, and there was one of the moxes, which is, if anybody knows Magic, Alpha moxes go for tens of thousands of dollars these days. We opened it up and we looked through the cards and we thought, this game is silly. And we threw all the cards into the trash.
Actually, you threw them all in the trash?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just one pack, it's a booster pack.
Oh, I see. Okay.
We just threw them out. And the store pushed the cards to the back. And eventually, though, after I sold the store, I went back to the people who bought it and bought all their alphas off of them and started playing Magic. I played Magic for about 10 years. And then I went into some other fun stuff that I was interested in, put Magic up and sold all my Magic cards. And then I went into Force of Will, which is recently, in the past 4 years. Played a bunch of Force of Will, but the game kind of died recently. They made a few mistakes in the company. And then I saw Richard Garfield talking about KeyForge, and I thought, that looks pretty interesting, because I always hated constructing decks and actually going to tournaments and seeing the exact same deck constructed against me.
I feel you on that one.
The idea of, random decks. So let's see here.
That is quite the journey. I mean, you being the possessor of alpha cards, I know there's probably a few people here who left Magic that are slightly jealous of you. Oh, you're just going to gateway
I
just
sold
like
them all
that.
and I bought two cars.
That seems pretty good.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite house that you like to play? Like, is there a house that you're really drawn to that you find yourself wanting to play more?
Well, I mean, everybody says the same thing, I'm sure, but Shadows I really enjoy. But recently, I never got a deck with Time Traveler. But recently I got one, and now Logos, I think, is my favorite.
Logos, eh?
Yep.
I'm a fan of Logos. I can't lie. It's a great.
I just like card draw.
It's fantastic.
It's a good metric of a deck, how fast it can rotate through all its cards.
I cannot argue with you.
It's something I wasn't really paying attention to in the first 6 months of the game, but recently it's been pretty important. Wow, that.
So one of my favorite plays is on Tropic Swirl on a Jargoggle is like one of my all-time favorite plays.
Just to do a house cheat?
Yeah. Just to do it. Well, you get 4 Ember as well, so. Or you get 2 Ember and you house cheat.
Wow.
Makes you wonder what I'm going to be doing next, though, doesn't it?
I'm taking a look at this card. Upgrade or robot card from your discard pile to your hand. And I like that. All right. So you get 2 up there. Let's see how to go this route.
So then So you like the Shadows because of the way, like what drew you to Shadows?
It really disrupts things. My second deck, so you're seeing my second deck. My first deck was a 5 version with 2 Fagans.
The very first deck you ever opened?
Very first deck that I've ever opened. And I took these two decks to India because it was just after Coda came out that my wife and I went to India to visit her family. And so me and a couple of nephews were just constantly playing the games with these two decks and a couple other ones we had. They didn't have them in India at the time. All right, I got to think. What house should I pick to not allow you to play? What do you think? Anybody?
I can't answer that. That's privileged information.
It's let's see. You've got a 2 and a 2 and a 1. Let's go that guy.
Good choice.
There you go.
Well, that complicates things.
Controller must sacrifice it. Interesting.
Yep. Let's make things interesting. So the next question I have for you, since you're talking about getting into the game, you've been in the game for a while now because you've been there since the start.
Yeah.
What kinds of tokens do you like to use? Do you have
I'm
anything
a
special?
burger.
You're a burger
from
token.
the very beginning, and I get burger still.
Okay. And have you noticed now as well? I'm just going to backtrack a little. You mentioned you love the Steel of Shadows. Have you noticed now with Worlds Collide that stealing, it's possible to go against a deck that makes it very ineffective? Have you come across that issue, or you feel like your thoughts towards Steel have changed?
It's just the amber now sits on top of creatures. So stealing is ineffective, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a different way of holding on to your amber. So you're right. Stealing decks like an Urchin deck, it'd probably be kind of useless against some of these good Worlds Collide decks that are just, building up their dinos.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to do here. I got useless cards in my hand.
Cycle.
Yeah.
I still have my first deck ever opened. I'm always keeping that one. I'm never getting rid of it.
I haven't sold anything. I have every single deck I've opened.
Really? You never sold it?
Never sold any deck.
Just occasionally give it away?
There is an occasion where I have given away, and there's more than one person who's received the deck because they really wanted that deck.
My own blood chart imp is...
I look at things like, well, it's just a deck. I mean, $10, I can get another one. So what's the big deal? Oh, geez, here we go. Oh, what's this gonna do?
Hold on, wait. It just asked me if I want to forge a key.
What?
Let's see if it lets me do it. No, I can't forge a key. That's weird. It asked me I wanted to forge a key even though I didn't have enough ember. That was weird. Okay, and then we'll re-put this guy.
Oh, this is gonna be bad. You take a look at the top 5.
Yep. So we got a Bulwark, our Commander Remiel, a Grey Monk, a Dusk Runner, and a Treasure Map. Let's get rid of the bursting. All right, that's me. So
once again, I've got all the actions. Okay, so I'm just gonna.
Now you've opened quite a few decks, from what I understand. You don't have to say the number, but I know you've opened quite a few decks.
I'll say the number if you want to hear the number.
Okay, sure. What's the number?
572.
572. Very impressive. And I imagine the collection does not decrease because you said you don't get rid of anything.
Well, I do give away decks. I have done that on at least a handful of times. But so, it's right now, that's the size of my collection because I don't scan those in if I give them away. Or
you don't scan them in?
If it's at the time of opening, someone said, I got to have that deck, I hand it over to them.
Okay.
But there's a couple that people were interested in, and I've sent them to them.
Right.
And then
I can count myself lucky in that number. So thank you, sir. I'm excited to explore that deck. I know I want to take it to my Chainbound and surprise people. That's the main thing I want to do. I really enjoy our scene out here, and we have a really good meta and a good group of players who like to to basically enjoy the game. So there's a lot of different ways to
Yeah.
play. And this past week we've been having someone bring out a really, like, normally we don't bring like really top decks, but we've had someone, she's been trying this deck out, and honestly it's making us all have to bring the heat, and it's been a lot of fun because we haven't done that for a while.
Does she know she's bringing the heat?
Yes.
And she's
And
doing it
is not
over and
bashful
over?
about it. She's brought it to 2. She opened it in a sealed tournament and wrecked. Like, to put it into perspective, I had a deck in my first game. I beat my opponent 3 keys to 0. Didn't forge.
That's real nice.
And then I played her, and she beat me 3 keys to 0.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's a like a 79 SAS, I think, and it's got it's a Star Alliance Logos Dino deck, so it has all the potential for what you would expect.
Yeah. What was that?
I just did a Tachyon Pulse to get rid of artifacts.
Sorry, I don't know a lot of the new cards.
No, not a problem.
I make PDFs of taking the dope information for all the cards of a set, and I organize them by house and then send them to my Kindle so I can read
okay.
them. I'm only about halfway through the cards, though.
That's a good way of doing it.
Yeah.
So have you noticed, since you've been opening up 572 decks, that you have a house that you can't seem to get away from? Like, you feel like you open it more.
Nah.
No, you got a nice distribution?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the only time I've ever seen a bad distribution is the first 3 boxes of Worlds Collide. 32 of the 36 decks had, and I'll let you guess.
Brobnar.
Yes.
Yeah, there's
why did
so
you
much
guess
Brobnar.
that? There's 7 possible houses. Why did you guess Brobnar?
Because Dan and I both did the exact same thing. We opened 2 boxes, and it was only 2 decks from each box were not Brobnar.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty much on almost as similar as you, which is really bizarre. Like, I don't know how that's possible. It made me have the theory that they're planning on rotating out Brobnar, and so they just want to make everyone sure they're sick of it and not going to miss it before it goes. But I think it also made us have to learn Brobnar a little bit differently, and not just be like, it sucks, because you don't have a choice.
Well, truly, I don't think I had 6 of those decks had that one creature that doesn't allow the adjacent creatures to read.
Oh, the NARP. Everyone loves NARP.
Yeah. So it was not a good pull at all. However, I heard one crew of people went to the store and were opening up every deck with this. Now that I could do with that. That actually sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I wouldn't be disappointed with that at all. Okay, so what is your most memorable KeyForge play that you've had? Do you have one, like something you did that was just like, and it can be something that was made against you or that you made, but something that really, like, you're like, I'll never forget that this happened, type of thing?
Well, it would definitely be the Vault Tour in Richmond, and I didn't do so well. I ended up only 3-3 at that, but and it was a sealed tournament, and I got a double, so double Terminaut, double Gengar Chieftain, which is supposed to be good, but the first 3 games I couldn't get anything to click. And so it came down to the last game. I was 2 wins, 3 losses, and that last game was a guy with a Martian Generosity proliferator and a key abduction. And so it wasn't a fun setup for me. Oh, nice. I forgot about that collar. This is
the collar's great.
And it came down to, we were going to run out of time, and I couldn't have him proliferating his Martian Generosity back into his hand and pulling a whole bunch of cards. But I had to make a decision. The only way I could kill it is to sacrifice the amount of amber that I could get, or go for an amber run and hope for the best of having enough to win the game with time running out. And I chose to take out the proliferator, which ended up being the right choice.
Nice.
And he had a card in his hand which would have definitely pushed him over and forged keys out of during the turn. So it made a big difference making that choice.
Do you feel that the proliferator is like the Mars Witch, basically? Like when it drops, you need to take care of it?
It's a sweet card, and it kind of went unnoticed, at least unnoticed by me. That at that tournament, I saw a couple of decks with it. One person didn't like the card. What? How could you not like to take something out of your discard?
Yeah.
And the same person also had a Martian Generosity, and they didn't like that. They discarded it. So
because they didn't like the idea of losing Ember, which is
I had already lost 3 games. This was the 4th game, and obviously I won that game. And then after the game, I proceeded to tell her why this is good. You definitely use up your Amber if you see 3 or more to do this, because you get all the cards in your hand. And then everything clicked, and of course you won the last 2 games of the tournament.
Right.
But she had no clue.
I mean, hey, it happens.
It kind of went under the radar for me. Let's see. I don't think I have enough here to take you down.
What is so you're a pretty good champion for the game of KeyForge. I think it's pretty fair to say that. You love the game. Pardon?
Definitely want to support it. I support everybody that I can.
And you do that with the content creators. And why is it that you feel it's so important to support all the content creators? Because I know you're such a big advocate for that.
Well, take the world of a game like Force of Will, which right now has only 2 people doing anything for it. The information is out there, but it's old. Any game that's card based and is constantly changing, you got to have new information. So I think it's important to have people out there talking about it, discussing it, promoting it, in order for the game to live. This is ridiculous what's going on across the board here.
It's ridiculous what I'm doing?
Yes.
I actually can't argue with you. This is kind of ridiculous.
Okay, what's the power card over here? I think it's conceivable I will not forge at all.
It's sorry, what? It's conceivable you don't forge at all?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
I've been pulling a lot of actions, which really don't help me.
Well, I will admit I've only played this deck once before, so I'm still unlocking its potential. But you and I have jammed before with the deck you're playing, and this is definitely not going. You're not getting the board presence like you did before, and I don't feel like I've been playing a ton of removal either. So I think I think is when you did those 2 gateway to disses.
Yeah, I got him in the opening hand. There's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah,
they got to be spread out.
And you chained yourself, though, is I think what's hurt you.
Well, yeah, that's no, I don't think so. I mean, it's a maximum 6 chain. I'm going to miss 1 card. It's not so bad as long as you play well enough through your cards.
Now, what type of KeyForge player do you consider yourself?
Average.
Let me elaborate. Do you like to play like combo decks? Do you like to play decks that rush? Do you prefer like a control deck, something that's more tempo and gets on board? Like,
I love rush decks. They're easy to play. It takes no intelligence whatsoever.
You think so?
Huh?
You think that there's not a rush deck out there that takes intelligence?
No, that's the whole point of it. You just play.
All right.
It's minimal intelligence. Combo decks, on the other hand, are probably at the maximum end because unless you've got the combo throughout your deck, you have to set it up to happen.
Do you enjoy that aspect of KeyForge or not as much?
No, I love combos. I just don't like playing them like in a competitive setup.
Fair.
I'll play them, for fun online, whatnot.
So, see, for me personally, is I've found that I'm more of a control player, and I
Yeah,
do happen to like.
but I think most decks are set that way. Don't you agree?
Yeah, it's true, but I like the kind of like the combo control where you're doing like there's combos exist, but you're playing the control game. I don't mind rush decks, but like you said, it's the ease of piloting it for some reason is something that puts me off a little bit sometimes. It's like I want to discover more, but that's why I also believe that they're not as straightforward as you said, but they are. Oh, that's very cool.
Well, I need a gateway.
Uh-oh.
I need to clean this mess up.
Did I screw myself over? No, I didn't. Okay.
So I got
Oh, I just did. Whoops.
8 left.
Yeah, you do need a gateway.
But I only have 2.
Oh, you're cycling. So what I want to know next about you is I feel like you, like I said, you're a champion of the game. Like you want to nurture it, you want it to grow, you want it to be here for the long run. You've been a part of games that have not gone that route.
That's
And
correct.
if a new player was coming into the game, like what would you tell them just to help them have success and not get deterred from this game? Because I think as games progress, anyone who's new coming is instantly at disadvantage just from card knowledge, especially if like people are playing a deck from like when we get down the road, like say it's 3 sets ago and you're playing the most recent set. That's a lot of difference that may not exist. So what in general is your advice to a new KeyForge player?
Well, to not in Discord, get on Discord and join the Sanctimonious guys. Because that group is great. They get all kinds of people which are specific with information. And of course, load up on all the podcasts. There's a bunch of them.
There is.
And then the most important thing is find a local game store that has the environment for KeyForge. For me, right now, at this point in time, all the 2 locals that are actually local to me no longer play KeyForge. I have to drive about an hour, but it's most important to have something weekly or bi-weekly that you can go and see other ideas and see people face to face talk about the game.
I would agree. That's something that I found is the community that I got to be a part of when you can get out of the house and hang out with people and do something that you enjoy doing and they enjoy doing it as well. It really helps foster your love for the game and what you want to see happen with it.
Hey, I got the 9.
You did. I
But you
don't
got
think
2
I'm taking you
keys.
off
What's
either.
the silliness?
I really want to use Lord Invidious. I want to see if I can do that. So I got to play 1 creature, which I happen to have. Unfortunately, doing so would negate my plan, so that's cool.
You got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I need to play 1 more creature. I'm not quite there yet. Oh, I actually can do that. Let's do this. Oh, evasion sigil worked against me there. Probably should have done this first. Live and learn, as they say, live and learn. Yeah, I got some cards that, you know what, Scott, I'm going to cater to the way that you like to do things.
You don't even know me.
But I remember you saying you just like to see things get blown up.
Yeah, yes, I do.
So I'm gonna play Gleeful Mayhem.
Okay, that's a new card I'm not familiar with.
It deals 5 damage to a creature. For each house, deal 5 damage to a creature of that house.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's a little silly. Yeah. Choose a creature. Next is... Oh, they all die, so...
But I think you want to take the collar guy and take him out of action.
No.
This mini group thing. Oh, you've already done it.
Yeah, I did it. It was happening while we were talking.
That was pretty quick. It would have taken me at least 30 minutes to pick that. It's just too much fun.
Yeah, it was fun, and I still screwed up too. So there you go.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. You did. That's
So
unfortunate for you. So you're at 6. That's not good.
yes, hopefully you can take me off. But in case you can't, here's my favorite question to ask, and it is: if you could have any character printed on a card be your spirit animal in KeyForge, what would it be?
Well, odd that you would say that. Here we go. It would be the guy in the foreground of this. Okay, so let's see. What am I doing? No, no, no. Wow. There's only one I could do it in. There you go.
Relentless Whisper. So this is the card.
Let's see. Yeah. That's it. The guy in the foreground, not the background.
The guy screaming and pulling his hair out.
Yes,
that's you. That's your spirit animal in KeyForge. Amazing.
Okay, so what's unique about this? He has 4 damage, and yet he's still around. What's going on there?
Because Light of the Archons provides armor and power.
So he needs 2. That takes him out, right? There you go.
Oh, so we got to play one more? Cool.
There you go.
All right.
It might be a little more respectable than you thought.
It might be.
And there's some actually pretty monstrous cards in my hand here.
Okay, well then we'll see how this goes.
But I think your board state's just way too big, although you get a bunch of guys stunned. Where are you going? You're probably going disc, I guess.
Yeah, it feels...
It looks like it's dissy. 1, 2, 3. And you got them in the center.
I know, control. I can actually do it right now, which is kind of fun. But I may have to go a different route.
Oh, that's unfortunate for you. So you're going logos?
Yeah, I think so.
I wouldn't expect that.
I think I am going to go logos. Because you happened to steal from me last turn. And...
Information exchange. Is that what you played?
Play this one here. Choosing that one. I did, yes. I played information exchange.
Isn't that nice for you?
Perfect. Nothing got dinged there. You got to watch out for that groupthink tank. It can bite you.
There's nothing I can do about it. See, you're at 8, so I got to react.
You do. And so I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that at one point in your life, maybe you still are, but you are a race car driver?
Have been for quite a number of years.
Quite a number of years. What got you into racing cars?
I did a startup in '97. We got bought by Boeing.
Got bought by Boeing?
Yes.
Seems good.
Yep.
And then from that, you're like, I want to race cars now?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really into cars, but I got someone to tell me they have an old Miata in their backyard, so I took that, restored it, got it working, had fun with it. So much fun with it that I decided to form a race team. And we formed an endurance racing race team with BMW cars.
That's awesome.
We raced BMW cars for about 10 years, both on racetracks across the country, but also dirt racing. So it's called rallycross.
Right.
And I won that 3 years. East Coast Rally Cops, rear wheel drive champion.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, but the most fun I've ever had in a race car is Daytona. That was a lot.
You raced at Daytona?
Yep. We raced with 140 other drivers, and we came in 16th overall. At the end of the race, which was a 12-hour race, only 56 cars were left on the track.
Wow.
We were one of them, and we went with just 5 guys. One was just a fuel guy. And we had $1 million teams on either side of us.
That is very impressive.
Yeah. We had a great time. And plus, doing 150 miles an hour in a BMW on the back turns of Daytona.
And you were racing these?
Yeah. Yes, I'm a driver.
Oh, that's amazing. So this is what I feel.
There's nothing more exhilarating than doing high speed racing where bumping is part of the racing. It's a lot of fun.
I can imagine. I don't know if I would be willing to do that. But I mean, you clearly went on a mission and just
we did. I probably did 70 plus races over
That's
the course
awesome.
of 11 years. I'm not doing it right now. I still have a race car in my garage, which I'm about to sell.
To buy more KeyForge decks, right?
Yeah, that's right. It's a continuous thing.
See, I think that's an interesting part about KeyForge is we all have interesting stories outside of KeyForge, and we never really explore them that much. I feel like you're about to blow up the board.
Well, I'm in Sanctum, so how am I going to do that?
Who knows? I discarded my Harbinger of Doom because of my board state.
You get a buzzle here.
I do, yeah. I'm a fan of Buzzle. Do you like Buzzle?
Yeah, it's a fun card.
What's your favorite card from the new set?
Oh,
or that you most enjoy playing?
I'm not really sure. I kind of hate the dinosaurs.
You don't like them?
I don't.
Is it the way they play or what they do to you that you don't like about them?
I mean, I probably have quite a number of Worlds Collide decks, but I just don't like playing the dinosaurs. Maybe I just haven't, learned how to play them. I listened to Dan on Sanctimonious, and he's been giving me some little pointers throughout his podcast of combinations that are just great to try. But so far, my best Worlds Collide deck doesn't even have dinos in it. And it plays like a rush deck. It's got a 19 speed.
That's always fun, yeah.
And it's kind of weird. It doesn't have any combos or anything significant.
It's just a fun deck that goes fast.
Yeah.
Does it have an Untamed in it?
Do I have any way to capture? None. That's unfortunate. Well, I'm going to take this. Take that guy out. And good game. GG.
GG. Thanks for coming on. I mean, you fought back valiantly. I
Sorry,
definitely
think you concentrating on trying to take a little bit of your amber, but
no worries.
What was your last question?
The last question was you answered. It was just what's your favorite card in Worlds Collide?
Yeah, I don't really have a favorite card yet because I don't know the set well enough to have a pick.
Well, you need to start just playing. You need to just start playing Sealed on TCL then, and then you'll start to figure out your favorite card.
Yeah, you're right, and that is a big plus on TCL is being able to, now that they have Worlds Collide versus World Collide Sealed selection. I've played maybe a handful of games so far, and I'm in the tournament that Sanctimonious is running.
I am too. I was
But
slacking a little bit. I only played my first game the other day.
I get on 2-3 times a week, and I haven't been able to find someone on the East Coast who is available.
It's weird. I feel like I think it's the timing of the year, but yeah, I've noticed the same thing.
Is that what it is?
I think so, because I played my first game just yesterday, and I hadn't played before. And
I
yeah,
haven't
and it looks
played a game yet. And last time I was done in 2 weeks.
I looked in our challenge bracket, and it looked like I was the only person who reported. So who knows?
Did you win?
I did, yes.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I did. I won in 2 games. And I opened a really silly deck. You would have found it silly, and it was actually, like you said, like a rush deck. It just went. I was like in check almost every turn. It was so weird. It was a Brobnar deck as well, which was weird.
This is, you have to swap decks, right? You play yours, you swap it.
Yes.
And then you bid, correct?
Yep. If the same deck won both games, then you bid.
That's right. Saying you did it all in 2. Well, man,
I did in both. Yeah.
Was not happy.
Probably not. Yeah, he's a good sport though. I've played him before.
Well, that's good.
He's a good player.
Was it Dan?
It was not. We're not in the same group. I wish. It's always fun beating Dan. Well, Scott, thank you so much for coming on. That's gonna do it for today in this week's episode. Where can people find you if they want to reach out and connect with you and ask you more questions about your interesting life?
Yeah, I'm
or KeyForge.
Scrowner online. You see me post every once in a while on Discord.
Sanctimonious Discord seems to be the hub.
Yeah, pretty much. But I'm also posting, the old KeyForge lounge. I'm in there all the time, and I'm with the Archon guys, Archon's Corner.
Yes, me too.
And I'll talk to anybody who wants to talk about.
So reach out. Scott said he wants to talk to you. So look up Scrowner and just reach out. He wants to talk to you. He just said it. He's honestly, you're a great person for the game. Your outlook is different from other people I've talked to. And I think the fact that you have the experience of seeing a game die really helps you hit home the importance of what we're doing.
Support. And you're doing some great things, Blake. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Scott. Well, I appreciate you.
Your voice kind of helped you. Luckily, you don't put your face in any of your videos.
It's true. Yeah, that would make things go very badly. Now everyone's going to wonder, like, how do I actually look? All right. Well, I'm off to record a podcast after this.
All right. Good luck.
So thanks for everyone for tuning in. I hope you're enjoying this series. I'll be getting more personalities. And if there's someone that you would like me to interview, please reach out on Twitter or Instagram at Boulevard Paper Fight. That's BLVD Paper Fight. I'm very interested to meet other people in the community that maybe I'm not familiar with and have a conversation with them. And as always, may your ember never be stolen and you forge your keys promptly. Have a good one.